Hello everyone. I welcome Dr. Vikas Prakash, well-known gastrointestinal and liver specialist from Kolkata, India. Today we are going to discuss a very important subject, that is on diet. So we'll be discussing how one can have a good diet for a healthy body and liver.
Thank you.
Before we discuss about the diet, doctor, can you please highlight what will happen if we do not care for our liver?
Yes, ma'am. We need to care for our body, particularly our liver, which is the main source where things are detoxified and the nutrients are absorbed. So, if you don't care for your liver, what's going to happen? Liver initially is soft, and gradually its functions are going to deteriorate from soft. Gradually there will be fibrosis setting in. Then gradually there will be cirrhosis. You can understand it like something which is soft like butter and cotton, and gradually it becomes hard, very hard, until it is cirrhotic when it is hard as a wood. So the liver stops functioning, the things it produces, it stops producing them, it stops producing albumin. You can have jaundice, you have drowsiness, confusion, weakness, vomiting sensation, you can have muscle loss and fluid in tummy. So you can have overt symptoms of liver failure. So you need to care for your liver, otherwise it will get bad gradually.
Doctor, my next question is, we eat in and out, we take a lot of unhealthy foods, we do not care about that. So can you please share how we can detoxify our liver?
Very right question, ma'am, in this, and very pertinent to diet and liver disease. See, if you've heard the mythology, if you believe in mythology, there was a character called Prometheus. He is a god, and he was cursed that an eagle would eat his liver every day. But what really was found, that every day the eagle used to eat his liver, and the next day there was a new liver there. So this story only tells us, even in the past, in ancient times, liver was the main organ, liver was the most vital organ. Although other organs are important, but liver is the most vital organ in your body. And it has tremendous capacity to regenerate. Everything what you eat, what you put in your mouth goes to your bowels, it gets absorbed in the gut, and through portal vein it goes into your liver. The liver takes out everything beneficial, the nutrients, the vitamins, liver takes it, and you take so many drugs, alcohol and everything, pesticides, medicines. It detoxifies everything which is harmful to our body. So it takes in the nutrients and it detoxifies the harmful chemicals in your food which you have taken, and it purifies your blood, and also it has multiple other functions which it serves in your body for a healthy body. So it maintains a homeostasis. It maintains the normal environment of your blood so that every other organ works well. So the only reason why I am telling you all this is, personally, what I believe is you cannot detoxify liver, because it detoxifies itself. It detoxifies your body. So how can you detoxify your liver? The only thing which you can do is to prevent taking harmful agents which are toxic to your liver. You can take things, you can take fruits, vegetables, you can take the diet which is helpful for your liver, which is healthy for your liver. You can stop harming your liver. Rather than thinking of detoxifying your liver, think of not toxifying your liver. So there are drugs, although in allopathic medicines which we use for drug-induced liver injury, glutathione, and there are other drugs, but they are for allopathic practitioners and not a regular detoxifying agent. So detoxifying liver is out of question. Liver detoxifies itself. Liver has a huge regenerative capacity and it detoxifies itself. We cannot detoxify it.
So doctor, you just mentioned that we cannot detoxify our liver. So in other way, I would like to know, what are the toxic agents which can harm the liver, which we should avoid?
Yeah, there are multiple toxic agents which we take in our daily life. Alcohol maybe would be the first which I would mention. So alcohol, the liver has a particular capacity to detoxify alcohol at a particular rate, a particular amount. Although there has been safe limits which have been advocated for liver, safe for the liver of alcohol. Multiple studies will claim it has some heart benefits, some cardiovascular benefits. But for me, alcohol is best not taken. If you want to take alcohol, take it within safe limits. Don't boost. You should not have a binge drinking. And there are the viruses, hepatitis B, hepatitis A. These are the toxic agents for the liver. You can easily protect them with a vaccine. Even if you have hepatitis B, you can treat them with simple drugs. Hepatitis C can be treated with simple drugs. If you suspect there are enzyme rise, AST, ALT rise, you can go to a doctor, go to a liver specialist. They'll test your liver for hepatitis B and C and can be very easily treated. Prevent infections, HIV, hepatitis B and C. These should be prevented. Canned foods, processed foods have preservatives and which are toxins to the liver. So always take fresh fruits and fresh food for a good liver, and pesticides. If you can have organic, although there are cost issues and availability is less, but organic foods are best for you. So these are the toxins, pesticides, preservatives, viruses, alcohol. Fat is toxic for your liver. If you have too much of fat, if you are obese and you have a fatty liver, the more of fat in your liver. So, it's a limited space in the liver. There's a capsule and it's just like a balloon. So there are particular space in the liver. If you put in fat, keep putting in fat, the balloon stretches, your liver enlarges, there is inflammation, AST, ALT rises. And once AST/ALT has risen, it means some liver inflammation is going on. There's injury going on in the liver. So fat is toxic for your liver. Sugar, get converted into fat, and sugar is toxic for your liver. So large amount of sugar should be avoided. So sugar is also toxic for your liver. So you can replace, or you can develop taste for food without sugar. There are some alternatives whether for the sugar available, but they're also not very safe. Recently there are plant-derived sugar alternatives, but it's to be seen whether they are completely safe for human consumption. I would better advise minimize sugar and go for an alternative if at all you want if you have a taste for sugar, maybe honey, maple syrup, these kind of things you can add. So these are the toxins which commonly we take in our routine life.
Can herbal medicines or painkillers be harmful for the liver? Should they be avoided?
Very good question, ma'am. Yeah. See, herbal medicines, you can take anything and everything what is regulated. See, that's what allopathic medicine is. If it's proven to have benefit in a randomized controlled trial, we believe it and we accept it. So herbal medicines can cause what's called drug-induced liver injury. You take and you develop jaundice, you develop liver failure, and some things are gradual, sometimes it is very sudden. When very sudden, you have sudden jaundice, and that may or may not reverse with drugs. Sometimes you chronically, for pains, maybe knee pain, you take some herbal medicines over a very long period of time. Sometimes people going to gym, they are offered some supplements, some anabolic steroids in form of injections or something mixed with the proteins. They keep causing mild inflammation that goes on and gradually damages the liver, and at a particular point of time, at a very young age, you can have a liver damage. So definitely drug-induced liver injury due to herbal medicines and various plant products is possible. If you have belief in it, you can take it, but do make a visit intermittently to your liver specialist to see whether everything is fine or not.
What about painkillers?
See, painkiller as such, it depends whether it's a herbal painkiller. So herbal things have multiple constituents which can cause damage to various organs, deposit of heavy metals, toxins in your liver and other things. And pain is a chronic thing for which normally people resort to herbal medicines and various plant products to treat their pain.
So doctor, instead of answering at a time, I'll be asking you products individually which we people normally take in our daily regime, and then you can answer accordingly. So my first in the list is, can I take tea and coffee?
Yeah, coffee you can take. Coffee is good for liver. it decreases liver inflammation. So 1 to 2 cups of coffee per day is fine. So you can take 1 to 2 cups of coffee daily for your good liver, for fatty liver it will help, and it will help in decreasing liver inflammation. It's okay.
Doctor, I'm very fond of having green tea. So your take on green tea, how does it help for the health, and any particular individual who should avoid green tea?
See, green tea is definitely a proven value in a body for your liver, and it for overall for your body. It decreases cholesterol, LDL, yes, and thus it improves your lipid metabolism. It decreases your weights, it decreases your BMI, it decreases your liver inflammation, your AST, LT, SGO, TPT goes down with this use. You know, it has antioxidants, so it's a very good antioxidant for your body. Regarding how it's going to help, so there are multiple mechanisms which are medical terminologies. If you can understand, it decreases lipids, cholesterol absorption, it decreases carbohydrate absorption, lipid formation like fatty acid synthase, and various other enzymes are inhibited. So it doesn't allow fatty acid, fats to be synthesized. It has a lot of catechins, so decreases the reactive oxygen species, that is free radicals, and decreases the oxidative stress. That is why a lot of people take it to defy aging or maybe to halt aging, because it's an antioxidant. So this is the mechanism, and this is how green tea helps us. Regarding who can't take, liver, it is to some predisposed individuals, it is very toxic to the liver. So you have to monitor your liver enzymes. AST, LT, you have to always monitor. If it's getting deranged, you can do a blood test. If it is getting deranged, you can meet your liver specialist. And if it is getting deranged, then definitely it is toxic for your liver. Sometimes with excessive use, somebody is like you are saying, you are very fond of green tea. So if you take in huge amounts, in larger quantities, more than recommended values, so there can be buildup of aluminium, which is toxic, and which can decrease the iron levels. So patients with anemia, that is low hemoglobin, patients with heart disease and kidney disease should be cautious while taking green tea. So these are the people, and those who in whom there is a toxicity to the liver. So these are the patients who can't take green tea. And also it should be taken in the recommended doses. Around 1944 milligram is the recommended dose per day. But how are you going to measure it? Because different products has different formulations, has different amount of catechins, epigallocatechins, which are the active ingredients of green tea. So you can't definitely measure. So you have to measure your blood reports. Don't take it in excess. Small amounts, of course, it will decrease your weight, it will decrease your fat, it will decrease inflammation, it will decrease the oxidative stress. So it's beneficial for your body.
Doctor, we are so used to taking dry fruits daily. So which dry fruits are best for liver, which we should include in our daily diet?
See, dry fruits are full of calories. The biggest problem with them is that. As for liver, walnuts have a huge amount of omega-3 fatty acids, which are hepatic antioxidants, and they have arginine, and they have glutathione. So glutathione also helps in decreasing toxic radicals, and so the ideal dry fruit for liver would be walnuts from my end, because of high content of omega-3 fatty acids, arginine and glutathione. And of course you should look into the calories aspect of dry fruits. You can't gormandize on it.
Doctor, I've often heard from my parents and grandparents that turmeric is very good for liver. So what you suggest, should it be included in our diet, or we should avoid?
Families have been mixing turmeric paste with milk and giving for liver regeneration and a healthy body. Actually, as an allopathic practitioner, we follow recommendations. So turmeric, milk thistle, they do have some anti-inflammatory properties, but the FDA doesn't recommend it. There's no proven trials. So unless until RCT or a strong trial is available for recommending turmeric and milk thistle for you, I cannot recommend it, although taking it might be beneficial. So maybe you can take it.
Now the most important question, doctor, there are so many vegetables available in the market. Which all vegetables we should include in our diet which will be good for liver?
Yeah, man, that's an important question because vegetables we are consuming day in and out, and if we include one portion of these vegetables which help our liver, then it will be beneficial for liver regeneration. And if somebody has cirrhosis, then anti-cancer properties, virus infection, antiviral properties. Beet has chloretic properties, decreases jaundice, so betaine compound in beet. Broccoli has anti-cancer and antiviral properties. It has glucophanins. So these are the compounds in broccoli. Carrot, kale, yams, sweet potato. These are the vegetables which is useful for the liver. Even cabbage. So cabbage has glucuronolates. So these decrease the hangover due to alcohol. Although please don't take it as a message as like I'm advocating alcohol and cabbage together and nothing happens. But cabbage has these kind of properties, so it can help you somewhat with people who are on alcohol. So these are the vegetables. At least one portion of it should be included in your diet if you have liver disease.
Doctor, you have explained about the vegetables, but our diet also include fruits. So which all fruits should be included in our diet for a healthy liver?
Yeah, fruits should always be a part of anybody's diet, not just liver. For a healthy body, fruits are an important ingredient. But as regards liver disease, you can have fig, pomegranate, papaya, watermelon, lemons. You can have cherry, which are very good antioxidants. You can have banana. Banana has pectin compound which decreases the fibrosis, and this is what exactly happens in all liver diseases, fibrosis, which ultimately leads to cirrhosis. So it has anti-fibrotic properties. So banana is a very good fruit for you, and you can have avocado. So these are the fruits. These fruits and the above mentioned vegetables should be a part of your diet. If you are planning for a curement of cure of your liver disease, along with everything else. But the dietary changes should be this.
Doctor, we have discussed about vegetables, fruits, but our staple diet comes from cereals. So what cereals should be included in the diet for a healthy liver?
Correct, ma'am. One cannot just survive on fruits and vegetables, and we need bread. The cereals which is beneficial for the liver is like maize, wheat, sorghum, and brown rice has tocopherol, so it's an antioxidant, so good for your liver, fatty liver, or any other liver inflammation. Oats is also antioxidant. It has ergothioneine, so it's a very good antioxidant. So these are the cereals which you can include in your diet. So a portion of the vegetables which I described, fruits, and the cereals, if you can include one of these in your diet. So all these things will go into making you a healthy person by making your liver very healthy.
So thank you so much, Dr. Vikas Prakash, for such a healthy and informative discussion on diet for liver. So your final message for your viewers, would you like to say anything?
So final message is be happy, eat a well balanced diet, include one of these vegetables, fruit and cereals, avoid the toxic agents which I said, exercise, have adequate sleep, be hydrated, avoid alcohol and smoking if you can, or curtail the amount which you are taking. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.